Defendant Matt, it is time to choose. Do you give up on love or do you give up on podcasts?
I'll never give up on love. Never.
Ha! Gay.
Shabba-da-doo. Hi, welcome to the Otaku Melancholy podcast, the podcast that swears to never give up on love. It just sucks that love gave up on us.
Ouch.
My name is Matt. My name is Matt, and I have been looking for my promised kiss, and it turns out it was just a jar of mustard.
And I'm Brad. And I too look in the mirror and wish that I could smash myself.
Alright, boys and girls.
Oh damn, we're bringing in the melancholy heavy this time.
That's all we are anymore, is just sad boy podcast. It's time for sad boy hour. Anime and tears. That's basically what this podcast has really just become. Like before it was, haha, funny name. It has it funny. And now it's just, oh shit, I think I'm actually sad.
It started out self-deprecating humor and now it's self-actualization.
Yes. It's like the more we go on, the more we just slowly become, like we started off as caricatures of ourselves and now we realized, oh, we weren't fucking joking around at all.
Mm-hmm. You ever just Flanderize yourself?
Yes. That's exactly what I've done. Anyways, you know the drill. You can read blah, 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 blah.
Well, this has been the Talk About Melancholy podcast.
This is whole jokes, old jokes. You know the shit. This is like it's like almost episode 50. Come on. Anyways, this is another special case episode of ANIMISERY where we review the worst, the wildest, and just the weirdest that anime has to offer. And what's weirder than lesbian bears? Come on.
Lesbian space bears.
Lesbian space bears.
Yep, we're talking about Yurikuma Arashi, a Silverlink original from the director of Sailor Moon and Revolutionary Girl Utena and Penguin Drum.
Yes, Kunihiko Ikuhara.
Yeah.
Alright, well, before we get into that, you know, this isn't like the normal foreplay we do. I actually do want to talk a bit about some news. So by the time you listen to this, it'll have been like, this will be super freaking old.
Yeah.
we coming at you from the far distant past. How you doing?
I'm doing not too well. I heard that some of my favorite sites were taken down or are going to be taken down.
And that's exactly what the news is about. So, as we all know, Kiss Anime was recently removed because, I mean, yeah, Japan basically said, hey, we're not fucking around about this whole anime and manga thing. We are doing it.
Yeah.
And I really feel like that's just a strong, just power move. But I would like to just have a short discussion on, you know, what Kiss Anime actually meant to us. And, you know, because I do think that Kiss Anime is like, it's like that. It's the culture. It's otaku culture. The otaku culture.
It meant my broke ass could actually watch anime.
Meant your broke ass could watch anime.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like, you know me. You know me. I'm a big anime shill.
Yeah.
I'm all about, you know, you should pay for your anime and support their creators. Yeah, you know I'm that guy.
Yeah.
But one of the things that concerns me about the loss of Kiss Anime in particular is the loss of a lot of anime that's just not going to come over here.
Yeah, hits like and
what the fuck were you expecting me to say something?
No, I'm just saying, like, if I don't know anything that I would have found on Kiss Anime that, I'm just making a shitty statement.
Well, I mean, like, Cross Game, for one thing, was never brought over here.
Oh, yeah, our hit series on our weekly Anime Watch Club.
Yep, which I think they just finished up episode 50. Not entirely certain on that.
Yeah, which we've had to go through some, like, back channels to be able to get that.
Yeah, big thanks to Dan once again for moderating and basically putting all that out there. Dan is just one cool dude.
He's a veteran of anime.
Yeah, he is anime. Dude is wild. You should really I know you don't. You just listen to Dan's stories. They are freaking wild.
Mm.
He told me about one of his bandmates that went to Brazil and got a mosquito bite and he scratched it and gave himself a flesh-eating virus.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I know, right? That is like some science fiction level shit. Anyways, so there is a lot of stuff that Kiss Anime kind of, because a lot of these distributors, I guess, don't bring stuff over, especially older titles. Kiss Anime and these sites are really actually important for, preserving a sort of, it helped wing anime over that I can't watch legally.
Yeah, I mean, in the days before, like Netflix, Funimation, Verve, and Crunchyroll, High Dive, there are a lot of anime that just didn't have any distributors to pick it up. And even in this current day, there's a lot of anime that just aren't popular enough to be distributed over to the West. And so, even though with streaming sites being like the service solution to the piracy problem, there's still the problem of, not all anime are going to get that 5-star treatment.
Yeah, and you also have to always deal with the fact of, the series you're super hyped on getting thrown into Netflix jail, which is a fate worse than death, really and truly. Because then it's it's coming, I just don't know when. And that's really infuriating.
And then you have those cool bros on YouTube who have their VPNs just watching it live in Japan, on Netflix Japan. And this is we're putting out our review episode for BNA. It'll be coming out the day it comes out on Netflix. And meanwhile, these YouTubers have had their review out for 2 months.
Yeah.
And it's what the fuck is even the point?
Yeah. And that's kind of what so I just wanted to say, hey guys, maybe we should mourn the ideology of Kiss Anime, but I'm gonna be real with you, that site sucked ass. Yeah. I remember when we did certain episodes where I had to use Kiss Anime and it said, I see you're using a pop-up blocker and an ad blocker and a double ad blocker. I'm gonna give you a fucking virus anyways.
Yeah, Kiss Anime is like Chernobyl. It had some cool stuff there, but you do not want to go there without a hazmat suit. Yeah.
2 hazmat suits, because all the hot single MILFs in your area will find a way to ara your ass.
Oh, but if you double layer your hazmat suits, that'll cause extra friction. It actually makes it less effective.
I like friction. The truth is stranger than friction.
That was fucking
I'm so fucking funny. But yeah, I think there should be a moment of silence for what Kiss Anime represented and for everything that it actually did,
Yeah.
Because I do, while I am like I said, I'm basically a shill. I still think that Kiss Anime was putting up the fight of giving people anime when maybe these services, I'm not going to say that Funimation and Crunchyroll are still even doing the best. Fuck, my Funimation app crashed twice before I even got to record this pod.
Dude, I have so much to say about Funimation.
Fuck Funimation's
Yeah.
app.
Let's we'll get to that later.
Oh, fuck Funimation. All my homies hate Funimation.
Yeah. The thing about Kiss Anime is that we do advocate supporting the creators, and especially the anime industry on its own, because God knows those in-betweeners don't get paid like 10 shillings or for anything. But I am a firm advocate for believing that try before you buy, especially when like even anime DVDs can cost like $20 to $30, and that's a lot of commitment to make when you don't even know if you'll like the show.
Yeah, that really is true.
Yeah.
Like, and I say that as someone who has bought a lot of DVDs before knowing if he'll like it. Just because in this age, especially after all these deals are happening where licenses trade hands, I am afraid that I might miss out on something like really important to me, or I'll have to go to the torrents or something like that. I mean, especially now. And Kiss Anime was, and so Kiss Anime will be.
Yeah.
And we will carry that weight of Kiss Anime for all eternity. And I do think that that's going to be something like 20 years from now, or 30, 40 years from now, you'll be telling your grandkids, you used to have you had to go to other sites before Sony decided to buy all the anime and become a giant anime capital of the world.
And you're just like, okay, boomer.
One other. I don't really. You want to talk about the act age thing, because that thing kind of grinds my gears, and it's mostly just me ranting about Shueisha.
Rant about the what?
Yeah, Act Age. Act Age was recently canceled and effectively scrubbed. The manga Act Age was effectively scrubbed off of all digital platforms due to Shueisha's handling of the conflict that the actual author had. And I say conflict, but, he sexually assaulted some girls, and that's really wrong, and that's really awful. But, so, basically, after the conviction and everything happened, Shueisha basically decided to scrub the entirety of Act Age off of their digital services. And while that's okay, you don't want that person to make money, you don't want them to get any sort of, esteem for their product after they've done something so heinous. But the thing that pisses me off is that Rurouni Kenshin is still on there.
Ooh.
And that mangaka, was convicted of possessing child pornography.
Yeah.
So why the fuck is Rurouni Kenshin still on there, but Act Age is removed? Is it because Rurouni Kenshin makes you a shit ton of money and it's what people like?
Psst, that's exactly why.
Okay, so that's bullshit. That's actual bullshit, and it pisses me off because... And what pisses me off the most, and I think I ranted about this in the Discord, was that the fucking mangaka only had to pay basically $2,000 as a fine, and he was just, oh, well, I don't want to do anything with him, I guess we'll just, it's okay. But did fucking Viz say, okay, no more Rurouni Kenshin reprints, no more Rurouni Kenshin on our digital service? No, they just kept it up.
Yeah. And
that's kind of bullshit. If you're gonna handle that situation like that, then why aren't you handling it like this? Like, you should be fucking... I want people to be punished who do these kinds of things, but I would like some fucking consistency.
Yeah.
And that's kind of my rant, because I didn't read any Act Age. I don't care about Act Age.
But it's the principle of the matter.
It's the principle of the matter. And I think that, I think that you should, when people do these kind of sexual acts that are really fucked up, that you should be treated equally, and that Rurouni Kenshin should be scrubbed. And I mean, I actually fucking like Rurouni Kenshin, so it's not like me saying like, fuck samurai.
Yeah.
It's just, Shueisha, get your shit together, put it in your Okasan, and make sure that it's consistent. That's all I'm asking.
Yeah.
But fuck the guy for touching underage kids. That's fucked up. And fuck that mangaka for just going in and possessing and buying child porn.
Yeah.
It's fucked up. You guys are making manga for for kids, basically. So, and that's just fucked up. Okay, so anyways, like talking about actual weird things, maybe this ANIMISERY, come on. We talk about bad anime, weird anime,
Yeah.
interesting anime with, quotation marks around the interesting.
So what did you pick this time, Matt?
I picked 2015's Yurikuma Arashi.
Yeah.
This fucking ANIMISERY series is just me picking, oh, this one will actually be good, and then it's not good. And then I'm just left to go, what did I think was gonna happen?
Yeah, so what was it that made you pick... Well, first of all, let's get the synopsis for those who haven't heard of Yurikuma Arashi.
Oh, boy.
I would... normally, I would do my half-baked attempt at synopsis, but I'm just gonna save myself a headache and just read what Crunchyroll gave us.
No. I got it.
Okay.
You know what Yurikuma Arashi is? It's basically like, whenever people make fun of people for watching anime...
Yeah.
This is that anime. They're like, oh, fuck it. It's got girls being cute. It's got walls. Weeaboos love walls, right?
It's got little bears.
Little bears. Guns. Lawyers. It's got everything a weeaboo could need.
Cute girls with guns shooting cute bears. Because those bears are going to eat the cute girls or also have Yuri sex with them.
And maybe the eating is actually Yuri sex, and maybe also this is an entire a sort of commentary on Japanese sexual identity roles.
The eating is a metaphor for Yuri sex, but also actual literal eating.
Okay, so you're gonna actually make a synopsis?
So
there was a giant space bear planet that blew the fuck up, and the space bear dust hit the earth and turned bears sentient, and they said, yo, let's eat humans. And the fucking humans who had watched maybe a bit too much Attack on Titan decided to build a wall to separate themselves from the bears, who then formed their own society. The bears then decided that, yo, I just can't quit you humans, and come over and still eat them every now and then. Enter Kureha Tsubaki, who gay as hell, and has a friend, quotation marks around friend, named Sumika, who are being bullied really hard at their all-girl university because... You know, they gay. So...
And that's bad, okay?
Okay, the anime says that.
Yeah, the anime says that.
Craig.
Wee woo.
So, basically, they're having a normal lesbian time at this Yuri school when two bears, Ginkgo and Lulu, show up and say, I want a piece of that Kit Kureha bar. And while that's happening, a group of bullies known as the Invisible Storm, who are trying to keep the ideological identity of a school life, say, let's bully Kureha and just make her life actual shit.
Yeah.
And that's Yurikuma Arashi. But it's also not Yurikuma Arashi because I forgot to mention the bear lawyers.
Yeah, the fucking Yuri court.
So this is hard.
Yeah, what was it about Yurikuma Arashi that made you pick it for ANIMISERY?
Well, you may have forgotten this, but remember we went to that Yuri panel at Comic-Con?
Yeah.
And they talked about Yurikuma Arashi. They were like,
oh,
yeah, gay space bears eating girls. And I said, and I put that into save for later.
I remember it now that you mention it. Like, yeah, gay space bears. How could I forget?
Yeah, I mean, like, I was really into it. I saw the bears, like, the panelists showed us the bears, and I said, ooh, those are hella cute. And then it was like, and the girls make out, and I said, ooh,
Nice.
Nice. So I was just all about it, you know?
Yeah.
So, and that's kind of just, it was a mishmash of concepts that just begged for me to just go in on. And then we got it.
Yeah.
And the panelists failed to mention about the space lawyers who, the bear lawyers who determine if you can turn into a girl or not.
Yeah. And who apparently don't believe in double jeopardy. Am I right? Lawyer joke.
More like double bear bo.
Shabba-da-doo.
Shabba-da-doo.
What that shabba-da-doo?
Shabba-da-doo. This show is just all over the place and not exactly in a good way. And it's brought to you, like we said, it was brought to you by Ikuhara, a Revolutionary Girl, Utena, Penguin Drum, and Sara Zanmai, which you may remember as the Kappa Butt Plug show.
Yeah.
And I think all of those shows try to tackle something really heavy. And this one does too.
Yeah. What were your, like, just without getting into the scores, what are your, like, impressions of Yurikuma Arashi?
My first impressions I think you got my first impressions when I sent you a message at like 3 a.m. saying if this Yurikuma Arashi shithead falls down the stairs one more time, I'm gonna fucking shoot up the place.
Yeah, and then you said another message like, this show try to be something. Just walk in like Ruckus's dad, like, anime, did I catch you trying to be shit? What a pow! Oh no, my baby!
Oh goodness, that's exactly kind of how it went. I was like, are you trying to be something outside of cute girls? Well, I mean, okay, so my first impressions were this show has so much direction in it. Like,
Yeah.
some person put a lot of thought into this show, and it's so apparent. You know, like, just the sound design. Like, the director was also the sound director.
Huh.
And, you know, like, the Kuma shock. Every time that happened, I, like, got nervous.
I hate and love that at the same time.
I do, too. Here's the thing about this show. Like, to sum it up, I hate it. How do I sum up this show? But using something that the show itself does. From the beginning, I hated it, but also I loved it from the beginning as well.
Yeah.
All I wanted was to enjoy this show.
My first impression of this show was I watched the first episode and I didn't have 100% attention on it, but I wasn't distracted either. Like, I wasn't doing anything else. I was devoting myself to watch this show, but I wasn't like intent, you know? So
Yeah.
I finished the first episode and looking at the credits, saying to myself, I think I need to rewatch this episode. I feel like I missed something. I feel like I missed a lot of things. And further on in my first impression, I watched the first 4 episodes and my roommate behind me was like watching it over my shoulder and he asked me, so what's so ANIMISERY about this show? And I turn to him and I say, I don't know what's going on. I watched 4 episodes and I don't know what's happened other than that 2 bears got shot and killed.
Look, okay, so here's the thing. I had the same impression.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, what is this show trying to tell me? What is my stupid brain not comprehending? Am I getting too old? I can't be getting too old. I watched God of High School just 5 before I started this, and it made sense to me.
Yeah.
But this show is just it doing things in but it's like being a baby and watching bright colors on the screen. I couldn't stop watching it when it was on. Like everything on it oozed this certain sense of style, like the flashback scenes. Like whenever they do a flashback, they do this like this little almost theater-esque sort of
like a title card.
Yeah, like a title card. And it works. And
they have little nameplates saying like 7 years ago, parentheses, history. Or like Kuriha's house, parentheses, place.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I understand the concept of a place, thank you. But there's a lot of visual like a lot of visual effects that are really good. Like when the whole exclusion vote is happening and everyone's voting on their phones to nominate the next person to be kicked off the island.
What is it that they excluded?
Yeah. Which I think is all right. Here's my thing with the show. For the first 4 episodes, I had no idea what was going on, like tangentially. There were a lot of concepts being thrown around, which I had a feeling were going to get explained later, but because they weren't explained or contextualized, I was very lost as to what all these meant. Like, in the first 4 episodes, there's, like, even in the first episode, there's Wall of Severance, Yuri Trial, Promise Kiss, fucking Invisible Storm, and all these I kinda sorta get, but I'm not 100% on what they mean, so when I see it used in a context that I didn't recognize, it threw me off. Like, maybe I was wrong, maybe this doesn't mean this thing.
Yeah, that's kind of how I was feeling too. Like, I thought the Invisible Storm, like, for the first 3 episodes, I was like, oh, this is a magical place with an invisible typhoon. And then no, it's just hazing.
Yeah. At first I thought Invisible Storm was the Invisible Storm of Yuri Love. But it turned out later to be the exact opposite of what I thought.
It was those self-hating Yuris.
And like the first 4 episodes, like early on, I was confused. The show has like a Madoka Magica quality where there's the real world and then the witch world, the magical world. And it has that sort of visual representation where like there's a league of stairs taken from Mario 64 when you try to go up to Bowser's castle or like the final Bowser stage, and they just go on forever. And that shows up like three times in a row for the episodes. And I know for sure this is not real. And like the world that is established, that it's like some kind of metaphor.
Yeah.
But like, and I thought the same thing for like their bear forms. It's like, oh, the bear form is a metaphor for like for lesbians. And then it turned out to be like, no, they're actually bears.
Yeah, that's the same sort of vibe I was getting. I was like, you know me, I'll read into anything with my stupid English degree that's never gonna actualize. University and college depth and right. Anyways, so I was like, maybe the bear form represents primal lesbian urges. And then the show was like, nope, this is bears.
Yeah. And then I realized later that, oh, actually, maybe it's both. Maybe it's a metaphor and they're actually bears.
Okay, so
brilliant.
So we haven't even covered
that. So get Charles Dickens on the phone.
So we got 3 main characters here: Kuriha, Ginkgo, and Lulu.
Yeah.
And I guess Sumika, but she doesn't matter that much.
Yeah, I do not care for Sumika at all.
Neither did anybody else. And then we got I guess they're not main characters, but they're weirdly the best characters in the show. Life Sexy, Life Cool, and Life Cute, who are the bear lawyers.
You mean Life Beauty?
Oh, is he Life Beauty? I thought he was Life Cute.
Yeah, that's Life Beauty. It's in the show and on the analyst page.
Oh, it's on the... You were right. They... I was being fucking facetious. I thought they had other names. I was like, Life Sexy. Okay, so, but yeah, Kureha is so into her friend, her quote-unquote friend, who she is pretty sure they're doing stuff.
Oh, they're definitely doing stuff.
Like, that show's not even trying to hide it.
Yeah.
And then Sumiko gets taken away from her, and then Ginko and Lulu are like, hey, we're here to be your replacement friends, and also we want to eat you.
Yeah. And you're, as an audience, you're like, in like a sexual sense or a primal sense?
But they do the scenes, like, as he was talking about earlier, the Bowser staircase that happens during Kureha's sort of moments of tribulation that occur early on.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, so early on, I guess this is kind of being like weirdly tangential, but early on, the show's kind of formulaic. Like, Kureha will go on her days and she'll get in some fucked up trouble. And then Ginko and Lulu will transform into their bear forms, or their Yuri bear forms, and then save her.
Yeah.
Or help her in some way. And that's what the first 3 episodes are. And I was like, I guess this is just what the show's going to be. It's just going to be sort of like a magical girl show. But then after episode 4, the show says, bored now, and throws it away. And it says, now we're going to be talking about your feelings.
That's the thing. It was too formulaic for me, because the first time we got to Yuri trial, it was when Lulu and Ginko were like antagonizing against Kureha. And that was when she fell down the staircase and they went to Yuri court. And they said, do you want to give up on love or give up on... or do you want to eat humans? And they say, I want to... what did they say?
They want to eat humans.
Yeah.
But they're not going to give up on love.
Oh yeah, they said, do you want to do A or B? Yes. And Life Sexy is like... sustained!
Shabba da doo.
Yeah, shabba da doo.
Shabba da doo.
And so I thought that was the thing. And then next episode, Kureha gets attacked by another bear, falls down the stairway, and then it's Ginko and Lulu back at trial again. Same thing happens. Next episode, a third bear shows up, attacks Kureha. She falls down the stairs. And Lulu and Ginko are at court again. I'm like, what is happening? They're not even anywhere near the scene. How do they know? How are they helping? I don't remember what happened after the trial.
I too was just kind of confused. I was just wondering, why are you licking honey off a lily petal? And I said, obviously I have some understanding of Yuri tropes, and I understand that lily can also mean Yuri.
Yeah.
And that Yuri means pure. And that like the honey is supposed to represent the fluids, and it's supposed to be some deep shit, but also it's kind of pervy, and it's got all these layers on layers in it. And I didn't order the 7-layer anime burrito. I just want my bean burrito, please.
That's what especially confused me, because all of that happened the first time when Lulu and Ginko encountered Kureha, and I was led to believe that they attacked her. Some trial happened. And then they licked the honey off her lily flower. I'm like, oh, so they had Yuri love with her. But then that happened the next 2 episodes, and I'm like, so it did not?
The sex did not happen?
Or maybe it did?
But
it was so confusing. And when I saw like a few reviews saying that a lot of people were talking about it, but not getting the metaphors, I felt like a schmuck for not being, like, thinking back on it. Maybe I'm just an idiot, like a cis straight white male who just can't get Yuri metaphors. Maybe I'm just another schmuck putting in my 2 cents.
Well, see, like, I got the metaphors. Like, they're not... The thing about it is that the metaphors think they're all that in the bag of Lay's chips. But in actuality, it's just like it's I don't know, man. I just don't know.
I will say, go ahead.
I will say that episode 4 was one of the best things I'd ever seen.
And what happened?
That was the episode about Lulu's backstory where she like kicked her fucking brother in a box into a volcano.
And he just kept coming back.
And then he just died because of getting stung. And I was like, that's funny.
Yeah.
And then I kind of thought about it and I said, I bet there's some sort of subtext there that if I was stupid, I would understand. But unfortunately, haha, big dumb.
Yeah. I think you should rephrase it. You said, if you were stupid, you would understand.
If I was smart, if I had a brain.
Maybe the real brain was the friends we made along the way. And yeah, it was around episode 4. Well, I was still confused at episode 4, but it was around episode 5 where Ginkgo and Lulu moved in, where it started to pick up for me. It was at episode 6 and beyond where I actually started to like it. I was still confused, but I wasn't like angrily confused. I was just saying that, like, I like this. I don't exactly get it, but I like what I do get.
I kind of share your sentiments because, like, what happened here, honestly, was you were like, recording here, and I was like, oh, snap, that's 2 days away.
Yeah.
And I'm on episode 0. So,
wow, I actually did better than you this time. I only binged 8 episodes this time instead of all 12.
I binged 6 and 6, and I just sat there just going, I can't look away. Oh, and also, quick little side rant about to Funimation. If my preferred language is Japanese, why the fuck would, when I choose to download something, you download the dub? Why? Why would you do that?
Yeah, let's take a detour here and shit talk Funimation. A Funimation Roku app can suck my fucking dick.
I know, right? Fuck the Funimation Roku app.
I put that show on and it had, like, just starting out, it played the episode, it had language Japanese, subtitles off. And I went up to the setting and it said, language, Japanese, subtitles, English. And like, the subtitles aren't here! So I flipped it to off and then back to English. And it still didn't display the subtitles. I'm like, fuck it, I'll just go downstairs to my computer. Fuck it. I'll just watch Fire Force. Funimation fucking sucks. God damn it, their entire streaming service is shit. And I defy anyone to say otherwise. Their queuing system is shit. If you put something on a list, you're never gonna see it again. Searching for a show is horrendous. Watching it is a chore.
You know what? I'm with you. I'm tired. Funimation needs to get their app together because honestly, every time I hear that Funimation's got a new series, I go, ugh, I've got to watch it on Funimation.
Even their web streaming, like on a browser, on a PC, the core system. I started up and it's shown in one player. And then it has to switchy do to another player before I can actually play it. And then I have to hit, it's showing the pause button, which means it should be playing, but it's not. So I have to hit it to pause, and then hit it to play again. And then I can full screen it. And then when the show is done, and it says, click this to go to the next episode, I click it, and it doesn't do anything.
I have the same problems, except my problems are on the PlayStation app, the video suddenly stopping and then the app crashing, and then when I reload it, it's not at the part where I stopped at when it crashed, it's at the very beginning, so I have to skip all the way there, and I'm just like, this is why people pirate. This is why they do it, because you're providing a substandard service. Like, I want to give you my money. I want you to have my money. Please take my money so I can have the anime without running the risk of 50 Trojans in a nice little suit coming onto my laptop. But you make it hard for me. And that's just the thing here.
Hot take. Netflix is a better anime streaming service than Funimation.
And also, so my point being was that, so I had to watch because I was on the go for a good part of my viewing time because it was so late notice for me, I had to watch first 4 episodes subbed and the rest dubbed. And let me tell you something. When some of this is dubbed, you've just got to wonder how stupid people are not to go, "You're a bear?" Because I know you probably watched it subbed, of course, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So you heard they were always going like, "Grr, grr," you know, like doing their berry noises,
Gow,
right?
gow.
Gow, gow.
Yeah,
but
that's
in
kinda
the
cute.
English dub, it's growl, growl.
Yeah.
And it was just, "Lulu thinks that you really should forgive Ginkgo, growl, growl." And then later on, "She was a bear?" No. What gave it away? What gave away that she was a bear? But it was kind of funny, especially during the eating scenes when the actors would be, the woman who was playing,
Oh, Yurika?
yeah, Yurika. Her growls were kind of sexy. I was like, she was like rolling her R's on the growls.
Yeah.
She's like, growl, growl. And I was like, no.
Looking at it now, I don't know if you noticed it during watching, but all of the bear characters disguised as girls have Yuri in their name.
No,
Yep.
no.
Ginkgo, Yurishiro, Lulu, Yurigasaki, Yurizono, Yurikawa, Yurika. Yurikuma!
You're right. It all makes sense now. I was the 17th angel.
So, like, you're... I'm just looking at it, I see Yuri in someone's name, like, the bear. That's
You're smarter than
Akuma.
You're fucking smarter than I am. I'm looking, I'm like, no, I'm literally like, no, I feel like a fucking idiot. I've never felt so stupid before. How did I not notice that?
To be fair, even after I found this out, I saw, like, Yurika, and it still took me a while to fully realize, like, that's a bear.
Well, in all honesty, this show isn't, like, trying to be subtle about it at all either.
But also it is?
But also, yeah, and also, didn't Eureka, like, have weird double illegal, super illegal pedophile sex with one of the girls at one point when the show was trying to act all...
Well, no, it's okay because she's a bear.
So it's just bestiality.
Human laws do not apply to bears.
That's what the show taught me.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to go fucking do some spoilers?
Yeah.
Because I've been trying to dance around some of this stuff.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to get into spoilers now for Yurikuma Arashi. It's actually going to be some quite heavy, some like big heavy spoilers for like the very end. So if you want to skip that, skip to 1 hour and 8 minutes.
Once upon a time, the worlds were divided into 2 parts by the sky. There was the moon world and the forest world. One day, a moon girl accidentally dropped her mother's precious pendant. It fell far down into the forest. A forest girl stumbled upon the pendant while she was out walking. Surprised by its sparkling star, she found herself looking up at the sky to see where it came from. She started to think what she could see might not be all there was and said, "There must be an amazing world beyond that sky." Meanwhile, the moon girl couldn't stop wondering about the forest world and what happened to the pendant. "Where is Mother's pendant?" she said. "I have to go find it. There must be an amazing world beyond that sky." Day after day, the moon girl and the forest girl looked at the sky, each one gazing from their own world. At long last, they decided to appeal to Lady Kumaria, for she was the goddess of the sky. The moon girl prayed, "Please help me, Lady Kumaria. I want to go beyond the sky, so I can find my mother's lost pendant." The forest girl prayed, "Please help me, Lady Kumaria. I want to go beyond the sky, so I can deliver this lost star to the one who dropped it." "I am sorry, but you may not," said Kumaria, "for the two worlds have been severed forever. Wanting to cross that severance is pride, and pride, as you know, is a grave sin." And yet they prayed again. "Please help us, we still want to go beyond the sky." Reluctantly, Kumaria answered them. "There is one way to make your wish come true. In the center of the sky is a place called the Door to Friendship. If your love is true, your friend will be waiting for you. You'll find her on the other side of that door. When you see her, give her a promise kiss. Do that, and your wish shall come true."
So, the moment that, like Eureka is revealed to be a bear, and it was this whole thing with Kureha's mother,
Yeah.
like, that's when the show was losing me a little bit. I was like, I think I've seen this before.
Yeah.
And the stuff it in a box. Put it in a box. Although Bride in a Box is a cool ass name.
Yeah.
Actually, just to throw out, a lot of this show had really cool sort of concepts and ideas. And when the story went on and on, I was just blown back by just the creativity, especially some of the stuff in the second half.
Oh, yeah. It
mean-
does get really wild, though, when there's a SWAT team task force made up of the high school girls with guns and a freaking steel barricaded riot car.
Powered by a android bear.
Actually, it's Cyborg Bear.
I don't fucking care. That is kind of wild, especially when in the English dub, at least they're like, "We're gonna exclude her," as they point a gun at her head. Like, oh,
Yeah.
is that what we're calling murder now?
Yeah. Yeah, for a lot of the first 4 to 5 episodes, or like the first 3 episodes had me lost. 4th episode, when it started getting into Lulu's backstory, it was kind of interesting, but I was still lost. It was only in episode 5 beyond when they actually got into Lulu and Ginkgo's backstory and Kuriha's backstory and their motivations that I was starting to get on board. Because
Yeah.
that was what had me lost. Like, I don't know why these characters are doing these things. I don't know why I should care. And then when I found out, I started caring.
Yeah, I feel like that was exactly my problem too, because early on it's trying to do that classic anime setup of, ooh, what motivations do they have? I guess you'll have to watch the show and find out. Don't drop us after episode 3, please.
Yeah.
And so I was just kind of like, if I had not assigned myself the show, would I have dropped it? Yeah, probably. But if I had just done 3 episodes, but after when you got into their backstories, especially, like what Lulu's relationship to Ginkgo was and what Ginkgo's relationship was to Kureha,
Yeah.
and how their sort of magical, almost magical girl trio formed,
Yeah.
which it never played out the way I wanted it to, where they were going to be teaming up to stop the invisible storm. I thought that'd been cool. They'd be having bear guns. It was going to be wild, but then
Lulu's one-sided relationship with Ginkgo was kind of tragic but sweet also. It reminds me of Allenby's relationship with Domon.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it kind of tugs at the heartstrings a bit that she won't have her love return, but she'll still do whatever. She'll still do anything, literally everything, for her. Especially, like, all right, the hardest, heaviest spoilers of them all, the biggest, blackest, most uncut spoiler.
Ooh.
And when at the very, was it the last episode or penultimate episode?
Penultimate episode,
Yeah.
she jumped in front of the bullet.
Yeah, Kureha was about to get excluded, and Ginkgo was like blocking that, going to exclude herself to save Kureha. The bullet was fired, and it had the small scene where Lulu was running, and I literally went, "No!" And she jumped in front of the bullet. The promised kiss fell, and she died. And I was actually sad.
I'm gonna be honest, I was too. Like, I actually had some tears forming in my eyes.
Yeah.
Especially the scene of, of Lulu in Ginkgo's arms talking about how much, she meant to Lulu.
Yeah.
And then just the scene ends with a dead bear in her arms, and it's just
and like the animation quality was jumped the fuck up for that, and it was so precious and beautiful. And it ended off with her giving some shreds of the storybook, and she said, "Look at me, I'm so clever, aren't I?" And I was like,
yeah, Lulu is best girl in
Lulu
this show.
is best girl. Like, she always was, like, when it started, but she really became best girl.
Yeah, she was best bear. Yes, I honestly I thought that like Lulu's personality was gonna grate on me through the show, but then just by the end, to have tears forming in my eyes over the loss of this character, who I thought was gonna be disposable, was kind of just a bit of an amalgamation for me.
Kuma shock, you might say.
Kuma shock. Kuma shock. Oh my gosh. I also love that too. Just the sound design on this.
Yeah.
You need to watch this show just for the Yuri trials. And both in Japanese and English. Life sexy in his shabba-da-doo.
That is the sexy way of doing it. Shabba-da-doo.
He's one of my, like, I'm gonna add him to my favorite character on Mal, because his scene where he's watching the girls through the binoculars.
Another coin, please. Yeah, and they're gone. It's like shabba-da-doo.
It's wild, but there's a lot that the show is trying, I guess, to just actually talk about,
Yeah.
Like sort of the Japanese sexual identities and all.
Yeah, and the cultural confirmation that's expected, with like everyone in class talking about excluding those who are evil, aka those who are different from the norms of society, who happens to be Kuriha, the lesbian, wee woo there. And and
yeah, and they're hypocrites about it, because a lot of them are doing the same sort of things, as you'll see, or they're having the same sort of feelings or interests, but they're picking out Kureha because she's open about it, which I guess is trying to make a sort of a statement on Japanese sort of cultural, sort of like how the pride works in Japan,
Yeah. And as we have learned recently, there is an apparent massive chasmic dissonance between the norms portrayed in anime and the actual cultural norms of Japan. Because if you just know of Japan through anime, you would not suspect how non-progressive Japan actually is.
Yeah, and I think it is surprising.
I still reel from our One Night Hot Springs episode. Like, that still blows my mind.
It blows mine too. Like, I didn't expect it at all either. I guess you see such weirdness and such strangeness in anime, and you think that must be kind of the cultural zeitgeist, that everything is acceptable and everything is okay. But then you see it's just, haha, people make funny cartoon, and it's.
I guess it's because over here in the West, specifically the United States, we're used to it being the other way around, where a lot of massively corporate art pieces or like media pieces bend to the progressive needs of society, versus the other way around. and you'll still have like non AAA, non corporate stuff who are like going their own way, regardless of what society says. But for the most part, it's like corporate desires just doing whatever's going to give them the most money. And so for Japan, it's kind of the opposite, where the media kind of goes their own way regardless of whatever society says.
Yeah. It is kind of it is really interesting though, talking about it and what this show is, and that is something that this director, a lot of his works are trying to make a lot of statements, or trying to just put sort of a magnifying glass to some of the things that he maybe wants to discuss in his society. So, and I think that Yurikuma Arashi is trying to make a statement on something like the lawyer bears must represent something. Maybe they represent, maybe they represent the feelings all of us have.
Yeah.
Of wanting to be sexy, cool, and beautiful. But I don't know. That ending though is weird.
That ending though was, it's kind of bittersweet.
It is kind of bittersweet, and the revelation that the person who actually wished for Ginkgo to change was Kureha.
Yeah.
That was kind of a weird plot twist for me. I don't know. Was it just me, I guess, that was affected by it? I didn't look any opinions on this show. I don't do that until we get done with recording the episode.
Yeah. I'm sure there's a lot to like glean from Sumika being the wish granter. I don't get what it is.
Yeah, I mean, it could just be that she was
Or it could be like Sumika was the one who wanted Kureha to like be better for herself. And so when she finally accepted Ginkgo slash like Ginkgo or Ginkgo and Lulu, then she finally fulfilled that wish.
Yeah, and it is kind of just I don't know what to chalk up to this show as trying to make a legitimate statement, or what is just trying to be surrealism.
Yeah.
And I thought that maybe that's trying to say something about, finding redemption in your past loves for your new loves, you have to kind of face the people that you did love to start loving another person, and that's kind of the entire arc of Kureha through the show is, getting over Sumika in a way.
Yeah.
Because she's always having these flashbacks about Sumika. She's always doting. Half of her reactions and why she's embittered towards Ginkgo is because she believes that she did have a hand in actually ending Sumika. So I thought that maybe the show was also trying to make a strong statement on the nature of love and relationships as it concerns, with, the people around you. Like, you have people who can't get over their past loves, and it just makes them into bittered, angry people like Yurika.
Yeah.
Or and there's a lot to just dissect here, but I don't know if it's something that I'm dissecting that was meant to be there, or if it's just me, turning an anthill into, Michelangelo's David. I was about to say Michelin Man's David.
Well, I mean, that is the appeal of art, is that you infer from it what you want, and that's not the author's intent to tell you what art means. It's up to you to decide what it means for you.
Oh, wow. Does that mean Yurikuma Arashi is art?
That means everything is art, technically.
Oh.
But yes, Yurikuma Arashi is art.
You do this whole reading rainbow bull crap, like, maybe you are the one to decide, but I'm deciding this for you. It is art. I am the one who decides. I am the one who decides what art is and is not, and this is certified art. I mean, I do feel like this is artistically designed anime. I mean, it is definitely not something that was designed to be a product for me to just consume en masse, but I could also go for a nice little Lulu plush bear.
Yeah, the first 3 episodes told me real hard that this is not a product. But yes, I would also like a Lulu plush, a bear plush.
I mean, I'm looking at her right now in bear form, and I'm like, I need it. Is there not one of these out already? It would have sold billions, trillions. Every kid in America would have had 5.
You would probably even get like a chibi Life Sexy plush.
I could see that.
Yeah.
If this had like taken off, I could have seen that at a con, like at a convention, like those little plushes that they have with the felt hair. He's perfect for it.
I would love to see like a group of 3 rocking Life Sexy, Life Cool, and Life Beauty. That would fucking hit. If I could put that in the cosplay contest, I'll vote for you. I'm not a judge, but I'll do it.
You're playing the supporting character in this obscure anime from 5 years ago about about lesbian bears. You got my vote.
Jabba-da-doo.
I mean, this is definitely something that it wasn't experienced watching, and I do regret that during one episode I decided to be healthy and just lift weights and I had to go, what did I just watch, and had to rewind, which I did end up actually doing on a couple of episodes because I had to process and say,
yeah,
what was that?
Yeah, I tried to do that too, where I would play a game while watching this on the other monitor, and I decided, you know what, I already understand so little. I don't want to make things worse for myself.
Yeah.
And I think that was the point where I actually started to care, so I like decided to turn off the game and like get invested in the characters.
I mean, whenever we do these animiseries, I devote myself so that I can seethe.
Yeah.
And I didn't seethe as much
as
I thought I would. That's
the thing. When I got to like episode 5 or 6, I was thinking to myself, why did he pick this for ANIMISERY? I mean, the star was horrendous, but it's not. I'm not miserable.
ANIMISERY has just become, like I said, the worst, the wildest, and the weirdest. Yeah. And this is definitely in the weirdest.
We're constantly changing what ANIMISERY is because we don't prepare for this beforehand.
Every time I prepare for something, every time I have something actually bad, you say, no, that's bad anime.
I'm wanting bad anime, not illegal anime. I don't want to watch My Teacher Fucks the Kindergartners. I don't want to.
I cannot, there cannot be good quality unless you're willing to go on a couple of FBI most wanted lists. This is what art means. The podcast is art. I am life sexy. Shabba-da-doo. Okay, can we get a shabba-da-doo counter?
No.
Are we done with spoilers now? Are we still going to talk spoilers? I think we do.
I think the ending. Well, one last statement before the ending, because that is something I would want to impact. Did it make you sad?
Yeah, it did.
It made me really sad.
It made me a happy sad.
Almost a melancholy, as it were.
Perhaps for this otaku piece.
Perhaps this otaku melancholy was real. Because it did make me sad, like the fact that it was Lulu reading off to her kid brother.
Yeah.
About, we don't know what happened, but wherever they are, they're happier. And I was just like, they went beyond the wall of severance.
And the fact that she died for her love, but she also became a bear just to be, truly with Ginkgo. And it's like a twin symbology. Ginkgo wanted to sacrifice something to become human just to meet Kuriha, and then Kuriha in turn rejected her humanity, JoJo, to become a bear.
Lulu, I reject my humanity. Yeah, that's a good reference right there.
And she had a very cute bear form too.
She did. Actually, we need to bring bear. Why aren't bear girls a thing? Bear ears are cute.
Yeah. And like the like little noise they make is cute too. Gal gal. It's not.
Yeah,
it's maybe it's just because I'm tired of hearing yan.
Yeah, you know what? Bear girls should be a thing.
And whatever noise dog girls make.
Weef weef. Yip yip.
Pafu pafu.
Ah, yes, old Rover. He's coming down the lane right now with a hearty puffu puffu.
Or how about like was it sheep girls or ram girls? Famafu.
Famaf. Oh yeah, Famafu my life.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I do love Japanese onomatopoeias, if I'm gonna be honest, like animal onomatopoeias.
Yeah.
Like birds tweet. Tootie tootie. So the ending was really bittersweet, and it especially with that one girl finding love with the cyborg bear.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah, let's get on that road right now. The
oh god.
The final message was how Kuriha's sheer unwillingness to give in to societal pressures and be true to herself and profess her love to Ginkgo, and the same girl who refused to shoot the anti-Kuma laser. And that shows that if you being true to yourself can extend to other people and like let them see the light, or like let them see that they don't have to hide anymore. They could be true to themselves. So it's like, it's like some anime we talked about on this show some episodes ago. But like,
yeah, it's sort of like an I am Spartacus moment. You leading and saying, "I'm going to be myself," will inspire will inspire others to be themselves. And it's sort of like the message. It's be yourself, because someone else out there, you know, is just like you and wants to be themselves too.
Yeah, it's just like when you have an online argument and they say, "I'm not arguing to change their mind. I'm arguing to have an opposite opinion for those who are reading."
Yeah, exactly. I feel that.
Yeah.
I feel that deeply. Deeply, I feel that.
Deeply, I feel that.
So, is that spoilers?
Spoilers.
All right.
Kumaria asked the two girls a question. Is your love the real thing? Then she laid down a ladder for them, connecting the two worlds together once more. They climbed the ladder until finally arriving at the center of the sky. There they found a single, vast mirror standing like a wall in their path. Each girl saw her own reflection in the mirror. They heard Kumaria's voice say, "Now your friend is waiting just on the other side of that very door. If you smash the you in the mirror to bits, if you tear yourself apart, she shall grant you a promised kiss. But beware, this may cost you your life. I will ask you one more time, is your love the real thing?" The girls stared at themselves in the mirror for a very long time. The girls stared at themselves in the mirror for a very long time. The Moon Girl summoned all her courage. "I want to cross the sky, so I will smash that mirror. I will smash my image." The Forest Girl steeled herself as well. "I want to cross the sky, so I will destroy that mirror. I will tear my image to shreds. My love is true." With that, the mirror shattered in an instant, and they each found their friends standing there on the other side. The two girls walked slowly up to each other and simply, wordlessly, gave one another their promised kisses. And so, having completed their promised kiss, the two began a journey beyond severance, guided by the star of love.
Anyways, welcome back from the spoiler cast, or from the other side of the spoiler cast. If you're from the spoiler cast, then you didn't leave, so I know why we're welcoming you back. We don't know how to do this show.
Welcome to the Beyond the Wall of Spoilerance.
Basically, what we talked about in the spoiler cast was how be true to yourself, and you can influence other people to be true to themselves.
Or as a wise man once said, "Fuck them kids." So like, what else do we have to talk about Yurikuma Arashi? Are we giving arbitrary scores?
And we could talk about that fucking OP.
Oh, you want to talk about that fucking OP? Let's talk about that ED.
The ED was jamming, but the OP was like a nice bop. It was really smooth.
The OP was a nice bop, but every time the ED came on, I felt myself just like going into full-on rave mode.
Yeah. I like that it had the little bear in the corner.
Yeah, the little dancy bear got me too.
Really reminiscent of shows like Hamtaro that had little Hamtaro just dancing in the corner.
Yeah, I like that. I like little dancey things.
Yeah. And the artwork in the background of the ED. Shout out to having 3 different artwork, and they were all like nice.
Yeah, shout out to all 3 things that I would put as my background on my computer.
Yeah. That OP too, like the song was just so nice and mellow and somber, kind of haunting almost, especially when you read the lyrics.
I'm surprised you didn't like have a hate boner for it since it had French in it.
I mean, so but yeah. It's real somber, and then it picks up a little when
You're not gonna say anything.
It picks up when don't distract me.
Okay.
It picks up when it actually gets to like showing Kuriha and Ginkgo and Lulu all like interacting with each other and also interacting with each other. I gotta say, like, normally for Yuri sex, I'm like all in like, yeah, give me that. But
wow.
for the scenes in the OP as well as throughout the show, it actually kind of got me a little hot and bothered, you know?
No, I don't know actually.
Like it was beyond like just being lewd for lewd's sakes or like appealing to a certain demographic. It felt to me at least, it felt kind of genuine, and it was like, you know, oh Lord, the vapors.
Wow.
You know?
We'll see.
You know?
I you can keep saying you know, but and to mock me, but I don't know. Well, see, I do like Yuri. Like, I've got a bunch of Yuri manga. We all know this.
Yeah.
But I'm more of the slow, methodical sort of Yuri person. I don't really like my Yuri to just be full on, less throw down and showdown. And yeah. I appreciate a solid scene if there's an intimacy that's been built up and a sort of romanticism in it. But I don't look at 2 girls getting down on each other and just go, oh yeah.
Well,
my
that's the
penis
thing.
is.
Go ahead. What about your penis?
No.
That's the thing. The Yuri scenes in this wasn't like an overt sexualization of like, oh yeah, 2 cute girls doing a sex thing. It was like a passionate display of intimacy. And as a clear expert on the matter,
okay,
it was just kind of pure and wholesome, you know?
I mean, I get where you're coming from. I do like I am a big fan of the girl on girl when it's the girl on girl animes and mangas when it's written in tasteful sort of, you know, that sort of way that only Yuri romances can be defined as. So I get where you're coming from. Like, I mean, Girlfriends is still my favorite manga of all time.
Yeah, it felt like Yuri for the sake of like actual for like actual gay people and not Yuri for straight horny men. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know, but you know, I liked what it meant to me.
I mean, I can't, like, I could never actually, make a statement and say that this is what it was like, this is how it should affect someone.
I can.
These scenes. Well, fuck, what are you? Just Lord Kumaria or whatever?
Sure. I am Lady Kumaria.
Well, my thing is that I wasn't personally affected by the scenes, but I also was watching this on the go, and if somebody came behind me and said, "Hey, buddy, what are you watching?" I would say, "I am watching the Stonks."
Something's going up.
At this point, I just don't know why I even try to deny the weeaboo garbage that I am. It's literally like my shadow going, "I am a shadow, the true self."
Also, the art style of this show, like it changed from character to character. Like Yurika was a different, like facial design than most of the other ones, but there was something about the quality of, like the designs, especially the eyes, that was like I don't know. It's really hard to describe, but it gives me like impressions of like a French cafe parlor or whatnot. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
And I guess that was kind of the intention with the French lyrics and the OP.
Yeah, I think that a lot of the environments are more French inspired as well.
Yeah.
So I do think there's a lot of European influences that went into certain design choices. And that's fine. That's okay. I don't hate. I don't notice. I don't care.
Yeah.
It's not until you start whipping out those Japanese VAs trying to pronounce English names that I get kind of offended. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed this. Enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it too. So, would you say this is ANIMISERY?
To a degree.
Hmm.
I do think it was really one of the weirdest shows that I ever watched as far as just the concept and the end story. This was definitely, this is what someone who doesn't know about anime or has this like misguided imagining of what anime is, this is what they would think anime is like.
Yeah.
Because it is very surreal. It is very hard to process. It is very not tropish, but it's got a lot of these sort of things that are just there for being there. But it's all good.
Yeah.
It's all good. And we're doing arbitrary scores?
Well, yeah, after a bit. We're going to say my thoughts on if I think this is ANIMISERY. Thank you for asking.
Well, fucking it's in ANIMISERY. It's already ANIMISERABLE. I cannot undo the title.
Sure you can.
Fuck no, I can't.
But yeah, this show is ANIMISERY as far as the first 3 to 4 episodes, but that's only because it throws around a lot of terms that are not clearly defined or clearly contextualized until later on, which can be argued that gives it some rewatchability, which I was initially thinking was a negative, but then maybe I've been conditioned to have everything in anime lately spoon-fed to me, so I've just had my brain degraded from thinking. So maybe it is nice to have a show that has some rewatch value. I mean, fuck it, Evangelion's like that. Has a hella rewatch value, hella rethink value. I think about Evangelion every now and then, and like, that's a new thing I didn't think about before. So fuck it. This is a good show. Rewatch it. Do it.
I won't.
I might.
I'll consider it. I will. This has been put on my list and on my MAL, and I put it there and I stroked it and I said, I will forget about you in 2 years. I am sorry.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I do feel like now that we do more and more ANIMISERYs where I'm just like grasping at things going, Brad, this one's about bears, or this one's about titty ninjas. I'm just, is it weird? Yeah. Okay, that's good. So is this ANIMISERY? I think we're going by the weird concept. You're definitely right, but it is a very solid show.
Yeah.
You are really more hyped on it than I am, though.
Yeah, because I really enjoyed it towards the end. A lot more than I thought it would. And
Well, that's good.
And if I could get so like invested in characters to where one of them jumping in front of a bullet can have me say no, then that's worth something.
Yeah, I mean, if you're that invested to where the loss of a character is actually impactful, then yeah, the world has achieved itself and opened itself to where you do feel like a piece of it being destroyed will affect you personally. So yeah, I think it's done its job as being a piece of entertainment. It's entertained you.
Yeah.
And it's conveyed a message. Anyway, so I'm going to drop my score on it.
All right, drop your score.
My arbitrary score that means nothing in the grand scheme of things, because eventually the sun's just going to glow the fuck up and eat us all.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, brother. So
praise the sun, motherfucker.
So through watching this show, I was constantly bombarded with things that made me go, huh? What? What's going on? And I was finding myself enjoying it. It was hard to peel myself away from it when I did have to stop. And I was having a good time. But there are certain core moments that just were so weird, just so out there, and just made me have to just stop and go, what did I just watch? But never in that sort of off-putting way. Never in that sort of way to where I was grossed out, where the show had lost me. Well, the show lost me, but at this point I had to watch the show, so I was just going to be stuck in the woods regardless. So I went through out of it, and at the end of the day, the show deeply impacted me in more than one way, and I did have a way of looking at it in my own sort of perspective about it being a story of getting over love, and a story about love. And, maybe we all should never give up on love.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that said, at the end of the day, I'm giving this a hard 6.
Well, this show has a lot of things going for it. The characters, the dynamics between those characters, the main message it pursues, that being, like, be true to your own heart. And, like, a lot of the conflict that tends to go around with that. A lot of things not going for it are, like, the story itself, the setting, a lot of, like, how the world works within some consistency is very vague and oftentimes confusing. And only some of that gets cleared up in later episodes as you see, like, you don't see terms, like the terms that I complain about, they're not really given definitions. They're just used in more context to where you kind of narrow it down. So the first 3 or 4 episodes are a real hurdle if you're watching it the first time and you don't, like, catch all the metaphors right offhand. But after that, the story really picks up. It focuses less, I feel, on, like, the big picture, and focuses, as it should, on, like, Kuriha and her relations. And perhaps now that I know a lot of what is going on in the show, I might rewatch it, and I might give it a different score from what I'm giving it now. But I will have to give it a 6 or to 6.5. I give it a 6.5.
Oh wow, that's actually what I'd give it.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I'd give it a 6. I'd give it a 6.9.
Ooh, I'd give it a 7. I'd give it a 6.95.
Well, I give it a 6.95 too.
I give it a 6.99.
Well, I'm not going that far into decimals. I do think it's a hard 6 show. It's almost a 7. It's almost a 7, but I also feel bad because, as we do these shows and I put more stuff, in my lists, and I see what is a 6 and what is a 7, this feels wrong to hang out with the 6 crowd.
Yeah.
Like Tower of God. But at the same time, the 7 crowd seems like it'd be too tough on it. So this is you know what? This gets its own score. It is a Yurikuma Arashi out of 10. I just don't feel right with it being a 6, and it doesn't feel right as a 7.
Yeah.
So it's a Yurikuma Arashi out of 10.
That's where I want to clarify what I said, Devilman Crybaby, where I said, just because something is a 6 doesn't mean it's less than an 8. And I wanted to clarify, because I had like a sit down, and I actually asked myself, what the hell do I mean? And this is what I mean. Each show is scored in relation to its own genre. Like, Airspecies Reviewers, I give it a 9, but it's a 9 as far as like hentai or ecchi shows go. That doesn't mean it's better than, like, say, a Cowboy Bebop, which, you know, has its own scores relative to its own, like, drama or whatever fucking genres can be pegged to it. Let me give a better example. Like a fucking Iron Blood Orphans. Iron Blood Orphans is a good show in the mecha genre, and so it gets a score relative to that genre. Devilman Crybaby has that, like so its genres are action, dementia, demons, horror, supernatural. So everything that works together in that genre in its presentation, I give it a score relative to everything comparative to that. So Devilman Crybaby is in no way going to compare to some like Happy Sugar Life. I will like probably recommend Devilman Crybaby before Happy Sugar Life. But like in Happy Sugar Life, with the like psychological suspense, drama, yandere crazy bitch, I think it did really well in that aspect. That's why it has the score it has. That doesn't mean it's better than any shows with a lesser score. So, Yurikuma Arashi having a 6 or 6.5 or whatever doesn't make it any better or less than shows with different scores if they're in a different genre or like in a different style of presentation.
I will actually factually say that this is me telling you this right now. This is me making a statement based off my own mouth. This is me telling you this.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
I am factually telling you that Kiss X Sis is better than Science Fell in Love. I am not going to back down from this. My scores, if they're higher than the other one, that other show beneath it, suck ass.
Your list is forever tainted because of your bullshit like simping for Kiss and Sis.
I didn't even simp on it. I made a mistake and I said it was an 8. I didn't mean it, but now I gotta stand by my word. That's my ninja way.
Oh, so you're a Kiss and 6 stan.
Yeah. I'm a Yep, that's it. That is I will defend Kiss Sis until I've kissed my last sis.
Yeah.
And that's of course after I kiss all the homies goodnight though. Speaking of kissing all the homies goodnight. Chew.
And that has been the Otaku Melancholy podcast. We are your gracious hosts,
Matt
and Brad. Dabba-da-doo. Follow us at our website at otakumelancholy.com, where you can find our previous episodes. You can download them from there. You can download them from all our streaming sites that we're hosted on. And you can like download some cool facts about us from our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Discord. Which, shout out to our new members.
Oh boy.
We have Magnetic.
That guy, 7,000.
Tanny.
Magnetic again.
Yeah, Magnetic twice for some reason. Justin, 562.
Dak.
Or Dak 52, whichever. And Golden Marcus.
That was my favorite part of JoJo.
Also, shout out to Dak for joining in the middle of us recording. So, you got in. Right in the nick of time.
Thank you, Dak, and thank you for everybody who joins the Discord. Thank you to everybody who listens to us week after week. Thank you so much for being there for us and being who you are and deciding that we're worth your time. It means so much.
And as our tradition, we give a shout out to every new member who joins our Discord. Also, our tradition, we shout out to everyone who gives us a 5-star review. We'll read out your name and a little tidbit you leave a comment. So go ahead and leave your fan fiction. We'll fucking read it.
Yeah, give a 5-star review where you think that my voice is better than Brad, so he'll cry about it again.
Well, I mean, I don't think Minako can give another 5-star review.
Yeah, quote unquote Minako. You know that was just Amelia, right?
Was it?
Yeah. Well, their name changed to Moe Soda, and I was like, I see.
I've been doubly betrayed.
Ooh, oh no.
Just wait till the next collaboration episode. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, well, I mean, the seasonals are coming up, Brand.
Yeah.
Are you finished with those errands? Have you finished those errands? You know who did finish his errands? WB Yeats with today's quote. But I, being poor, have only my anime. I have spread my anime under your feet. Tread softly, because you tread on my anime. That's it, that's the show. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Shabba-da-doo.
断絶した境界